How are all y'all doing? We got the dog cam going, so hopefully things won't crash today. Okay, we're doing VOD reviews today because I've owed them for like over a week now. Smile. Life keeps me busy.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we'll go right here and we'll pause here. Okay, so timestamp is 103:55. I'm mainly looking for feedback on what decisions with positioning, alt usage, etc. I did well and what I messed up with. And this is going to be a 2700 Reinhardt. Specifically, this is going to be from a scrim perspective. This is not ranked. This is a scrim, which is always good. I like scrims because like you can count on your teammates to not run like truly stupid things.
Hero after like.
Oh wait, okay. The reason I paused it where I did is hopefully we're gonna get to see.
Yeah, that's fine. I can off tank really.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to see
Diva
we want to see the team composition here,
Diva's the most important.
if possible.
Hero.
A few moments later.
Let's actually take a look at this comp. Focus. Okay, so we have triple tank, triple support, and this is pre the current patch for anybody who's watching. That there's no Hammond enabled, I'm pretty sure, and this is before the support nerfs. So this is like a pretty traditional 3-3. So the goal here, right, is you have your Zarya be the shot caller. She is essentially acting as the DPS. Your Diva is sort of like a peel / anti-flank, so it's her job to contest the high ground or deny anything that's going to try and harm this guy. And these two are a gay married couple that just swings on things and gets to laugh. So this is a good comp. This is a good comp, especially for the Oasis map that we're playing here. The only thing I don't like about this is this. This is the only guy I specifically have problems with. I would want a Lucio here, and like, ideally this is also a Moira. I think these three supports together in this scenario where you have 3 tanks, there's not like a ton of utility. Like, I think you can get away with Brig Mercy together, but I think if you add Zen, like, there's so little value because your tanks will never be able to capitalize on the Discord damage because it's going to take them forever to get into position to start hitting things, that all 6 members of the enemy team are going to have time to just, like, kite what is essentially a modified Goats comp. Because the biggest counter... Okay, there are 2 counters to Goats. There are 2 counters to Goats. The first counter to Goats is spam. So you run, like, the most popular run is you run Hanzo and you run Pharah. And what happens is your Hanzo and Pharah beat on these tanks, and because the tanks have such big health pools and the Moira provides such big healing, that Hanzo and Pharah build their ult extremely quickly, and you just hit Q and kill them all. Because Hanzo Dragon and Pharah Barrage, and also you can run Junkrat here instead of one or the other if you want to. All 3 of these ults...
Just a little bit to show my excitement for today's stream. Cœur.
Oh, thank you for the bits, Brownie Bro, with the 500 bits. Thank you so much, hon. I'm excited too. But anyways, these 3 projectile ults have the potential to just instantly delete people, and there's like nothing that can stop it. So like, that's one way of defeating Goats, which is that you farm your insta-kill ults and you insta-kill people. The other way that you counter Goats is space. And that's basically, in the case where they have a Lucio speed boost, you kite the Lucio speed boost. You run away from them, you let them grab a tick or 2 on the point, and then you re-engage on them when they've had to use all of their resources to take up a position. And in this case, for the enemy team, option 2 is going to be really strong for them because you don't have a speed boost. You have a Discord orb, and the easiest way to avoid Discord orb is to just play LOS. So I think that's the only problem I have with this comp going into it. But we're going to work with it because it's what we do.
Oh, do we get a VOD review?
AirDude25, thank you for the 99 bits. How do we get a VOD review? If you join the Discord... Oh my gosh.
Now we're allowed to show my real excitement.
Brownie Bro, thank you for the 1,000 bits. CC comp also counters Goats. Yeah, I guess I can agree. Like, you can run CC heavy comps, but I fucking hate those comps. But I think the two strongest ways to counter Goats is with spam or with space. I think those are the two best counters. Anyways.
If they go 3-3, I'll swap Anna though, so we can have an easier time out.
My two won't stop growing.
Just play Fortnite.
Hazard, thank you for the
make sure
100
don't get
bits.
pulled into the middle.
Big toes. Big toes. Yeah, this is a good fire strike here.
Oh, they're all one. They're actually all one. I jinxed all of them.
Okay, first problem here is we need to be hitting W. On Reinhardt, like, the whole team here needs to be hitting W as a team, but as Reinhardt, if you kind of, like, AD...
First time Irene, I'm loving it. Visage souriant.
AirD25, thank you for the 100 bits. Glad you're enjoying it, and welcome, welcome. If you AD in the choke here, right, your tank, the two other tanks, your D.Va and your Zarya, can't, they can't press W either, because then they have to walk in front of your shield and feed a ton of ult charge. So as a group, you all have to commit to going forward. Like, the reason GOATS works is, like, you have 6 people running onto the same target, and, like, no amount of heal can stop that. Like, you either have to spam them out and kill them, kite them and avoid it, or as Serenus mentioned in chat, you have to use CC to stop them from coming onto you. So we need to engage here. And it's going to be tough because we do have that Zen. Is it better to go mini or coast if you're running GOATS instead of going main? I would almost always run mini. I would never go coast, because if they have a brig, which you should be worried about them having in the unfortunate state of the meta we're in, you run the risk of being bashed or whipped off the edge and dying. So I would almost always go mini and play off of the mini. Plus with GOATS, if you can fight in a tiny enclosed space, it really does benefit you, because it's just like so much splash damage that they can't even avoid. Air dude, thank you for the 1 bit. I appreciate it regardless. Satellites also mentions Anna also fucks GOATS. Yeah, if you hit a fat nade, it's a big haha. It's a big scary. And I think we do hear someone, I think it is our Zen player, maybe, whose voice I heard, I'm not sure, who said they might swap Ana, and, like, I think Ana versus GOATS, like, it's so underrated. In the new meta now, it's insanely strong. In the old meta, I think it was underrated.
Reaper on the right?
But anyways, let's go through this. So we know there's a Reaper on the right.
Yeah, there's Reaper on the right. Sorry, I had to fight them. I didn't know there were
Reaper one.
So we're basically just being pushed back, and we're letting them take space here, right? So at the start of the game, they were here, and you were here. Actually, let's do a different color. You're blue. You were here, right? So all of this is like no man's land, right? And in the Reinhardt 1v1, you don't want there to be no man's land. So what happened was Red Reinhardt said, you may not have this no man's land. This is now mine. So this is all the space that we've basically just given up for free by spamming A and D in the choke as a team. So, like, we can't be afraid here, because now, especially when they have a Reaper who now has all of this space to work with, and what looks like a McCree over here who now has all of this space to work with, it's going to be really hard to get into the point.
Right too.
Oh, I don't know that I would have charged here. Oh, you got the pin off, though.
Oh my god.
You got the pin off. I don't think I would have charged here, because there's no way, like, even though it's a good pin, like, you do pin the McCree, there's no way that you live through that unless your Zarya bubbles you, and, like, you have a Zen orb, and, like, maybe you have an Ana who, like, also needs, like, there's so much that has to happen for you to potentially survive that pin. And we're already in a space, right, where we're down one person. We lost, I believe it was our Brig, if I back up. Our Brigitte died
Right too.
pretty early here.
Oh my god, I missed it.
So by you going in, you're making a 1-for-1 trade, which now makes it a 4v6. So there's literally zero hope that your team can now take this. Whereas if you don't charge here and you play kind of patiently, you just kind of walk forward and contest the point with your body and then back off of it when you need to, it buys a little bit more time for your Brig to come back from spawn so that you can take a 6v6 instead.
Got one.
But let's continue.
Yeah, I missed the
So at this point, team has to reset.
friends.
We've lost 2 people, and we fed a lot of ult. We do call that we're almost at trance, but we should also be thinking that they are at trance, right? The magic of ult tracking is like, if you never know, if you're never like, I'm not sure, if you've just lost a fight, and if you hit tab and you look at what ults you're close to, chances are, if you are within 80% of any ult on your team, if you're running mirror or similar-ish comps, the matching hero on the enemy team has that ult. And you can kind of like use that as a trick to know what ults to expect the enemy team to use on you going into a fight, even if like you aren't like the greatest at ult tracking, or like in this team, I don't know if there's a designated person for ult tracking. I would hope there is, but you know, we don't know. So let's see what happens here. We force the res on the McCree, which is good. So we know there's no res for the next 30 seconds, but we trade our Zarya. So one really important thing here.
I almost have friends.
As we go in, I'm gonna pause when we see it.
I am the baby shield.
Okay, so whenever you want to pop a shield,
All
right?
right, d'un beauty wanted number 1 all-time spot. Que only for my dièse un streamer.
Oh, Brownie Bro, thank you so much for the 500 bits. You're a sweetheart. Mwah, 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 mwah. Mwah. I think... Okay, anyways. One thing you want to think about, right, is who are you shielding right now? Right now, you're shielding yourself and, like, just barely your Mercy. But these 2 people are not getting any shield. So, in a scenario like this, where you're forced to hard shield something that's shooting at you, you have to decide, can I sacrifice a little bit of my health to get into a position where I can shield more people? So in that case, you would sacrifice some HP to come shield right here in the front. Or, if I can't do that, I need to tell the people who aren't being shielded that they need to come to me. Right? You either have to tell people, I can't play up front, you need to come to me, or you need to go to them. Because your shield is benefiting pretty much only one person right now.
Right side, right side.
Well, 2 people. You and your Zenyatta. And then we're going to be able to shield the rest here, which is good. Minor thing, very minor. You look around a lot with your shield up. If you hold right click, they've added the... I'm going to actually open up Overwatch to explain for those who are like, what the hell is she talking about?
A few moments later.
So like a lot of people...
Justice will be done.
Or sorry, not right click, left click, because right click is your shield button. My bad. I'm really bad at left or right. So a lot of people do this, right? They walk around with Reinhardt and they look like this. But so for example, if I go up to this friendly bot here, right, who's shooting at nothing, if I turn this way to look, whatever's shooting at him from the front isn't protected anymore. So if I hold left click now, I can actually look a full 360 without moving my shield. And you can walk to the left and the right and like forward and backwards while doing this. So it's super handy if you just hold down both mouse buttons. Anyways, minor nitpick, but a thing to think about.
I have trans.
Right side, right side, right side.
So as Ryan, I usually like it when the Reinhardt calls where they want to go and the team has to follow, because as Reinhardt, your mobility is pretty limited, and like you need your team to follow you because you can't take space. You can't take space as quickly as someone like a Diva can, or like someone like a Winston can. DFS minus 10 perception. I used it. Your big brain. Your huge brain. I'm small brain.
He's alone, right?
McCree, kill McCree, kill McCree, McCree.
Big swings. What happened there? Did you get stunned? I'm confused. I gotta watch this again.
I almost have
There's too many CC heroes in this bullshit game.
I have trans.
Right side, right side, right side.
I'm not sure if you like countercharged him at the last second or if you got stunned by like... Okay, you did countercharge him. Nice. I feel like this charge could have been avoided by just like rotating really hard because like it's a really bad angle for him to charge you at. But the fact that you hit the counter charge is still good here. Oh no, I wouldn't shatter that! Wait, are you guys actually gonna live? You lived! Okay, never mind, I take it back. If you're gonna live...
Mercy. Mercy dead.
We're up to...
Stun.
Nice job.
Okay, I think the pin is brave, but I think you're kind of also in a position where you have limited options, right? Because you can't, like, hard shield that. So let's back up. So here's how I would have played this. I went too far! I'm a thrower!
Alright, I almost have mech back. There we go.
Ryan countercharges weird with Zarya Bubble. It cuts the Ryan with the higher latency very hard.
Right side.
Ryan in general is a big haha right now. Especially on the current patch.
Kill me.
So here, right as soon as like you finish swinging, I would just like W forward really hard. Like I think you can avoid this by just like walking. Because his angle is so acute to come get to you. I think you don't even have to countercharge him if you react to it in time. So this happens. And I guess the shatter here is okay because the reason we lived through this is they have no combo. Like, they have no combo to go into the grab at all. Like, they don't have a Hanzo, they don't have Barrage, they don't have anything they're going to combo with it. They're just trying to suck in as many people as possible. But what I would do here is I would actually wait just for a couple more seconds, like literally 2 seconds. And right here, right as the grab is ending, that's when I would shatter. Because this way, you're still going to hit all of these people. They're all going to be lying on the ground, but your team isn't going to be caught in the grab to be able to follow up on it. Because the biggest problem here is, like, you hit a huge shatter, but nobody can follow up on it. Not only because they've, like, sure, they've transcendenced it, but you can potentially burst through transcendence. But the biggest thing is you're running 3 tanks, so you don't have the ranged damage to focus fire the people. Maybe use arrow keys to scroll the video instead. That's actually big. That's actually big brain.
Mercy dead.
But we are killing people, so it's gonna work out. We killed Mercy.
Stun.
Nice job.
So, you know what? I'm gonna take back what I said on that charge. I think it's up to your team to tell you what's going on behind you there. Because, like, you're chasing the 2 people. Basically what's happening is there's 2 people here, and then the rest of their team is here, and you're choosing to chase the people on the left. I think if you chase the people on the point, then it leaves your back line exposed to die. So, like, you're in an awkward position here where I don't think... I think I can't actually criticize you on making the choice to chase the Zarya there.
Zarya's up on high ground.
I think that's on your team to communicate to you that there's a Reaper behind you. And also that we need to have an ult tracker who is on top of the fact that Reaper definitely has ult, because we haven't seen him ult in 2 rounds.
Zarya's up on high ground, dude. I need help.
Nice. So we kill Zarya.
Ah, damn it.
We've managed to cap. So now this is important is where we want to hold next. So let's back up here. Someone's about to call the...
Okay, Mercy, come damage boost me.
I went too far
Zarya's
back.
up
I
on
need to
high
use the
ground,
arrow
dude. I need
keys.
help.
Bye-bye. Thanks for the sub. Good night, Air Dude. Thank you for stopping by.
Ah, damn it. Sorry.
Okay. Someone's about to call the comp. But we do have to notice that they've swapped off the Reaper for a Pharah. We should be thinking that they have McCree ult, because we haven't seen it. We should be thinking about Shatter, because we haven't seen it. And we should be thinking about Valk, because we haven't seen it. We've seen these 2. So we should be thinking about these things when we set up. The biggest thing is that we're actually fairly close to our own tank ults, and we have our own Valkyrie here, which means we can potentially play pretty aggressive. And I'm going to explain why in a second when we think about the fact that they have a Pharah. So what I would want to do is I would want to pick one of these 2 doors, right? There's door 1 and there's door 2. Try and figure out which door the enemy team is going to choose to come through. We also want to call out that there's this Pharah here who is going to be going on a flank. And we want to take an engage here. And the reason we want to take an engage is, right, we have this flanking Pharah who's going to be nowhere near your team. We see that she doesn't have a beam on her. She's not being pocketed. So it's really good. It's a free 6v5 for us right now.
It's okay, just keep doing it with me. I'm gonna have to...
If we call the Pharah on the flank. So they're taking their sweet time here, right? This gives us plenty of time to play from range, to build up as much ult as we want to. And if we take a brawl in these tiny doorways, it's really, 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 really hard for them to win it without using ultimates. So at the very least, we can force them to, if we lose the fight, we force them to use ultimates, right? If we win the fight, well, maybe we force them to use ultimates. Maybe they haven't, but we've definitely built our own ultimates. I try to ult track, but it's hard to do shot calling, strat calling, and ult tracking at the same time. That's totally fair. I think no one on any team should be tasked with doing all three. I think you should contribute to your individual ult, like your individual ult tracking. So for example, Rein should be tracking Rein. Mercy should be tracking Mercy. But ideally, to me, you have a shot caller, you have an IGL, you have someone doing alt econ, you have someone target calling. Like, you have the main duties split up between different people. Chrysalis, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Booty Brigade. Enraged Cinema, thank you for the follow, along with Zell Sisson. Welcome as well. Thank you guys so much. So we lost our Diva to the Pharah somehow. How did we lose our... you know what? I'm gonna worry about it too much. This is gonna be messy now. So now we've lost our Diva. The Pharah is up here, right? And she has control of that entire high ground, which is really scary. Their Rein is now going to use this opportunity to come in and try and take as much of this space as possible. And you're being kind of left in the front line alone because your Mercy is coming up here to res, it looks like. I have no clue where your Zarya is right now. This is going to be scary from a Reinhardt perspective. What is an IGL? An IGL is an in-game leader. So basically, the in-game leader's job essentially is kind of like a manager. They sometimes are the strat planner or like the planner. But basically, if they make a call, their call is the most important call. So, doesn't matter what anybody else says, what the IGL says, not the shot caller, what the IGL says is final. So what does an IGL do if shot calling, strat calling, alt econ, target call jobs are taken? The IGL is the one who takes all of those, puts them together, and makes the final decision. So if the strat caller and the shot caller disagree, the IGL says, we're doing this one. Basically, the IGL is the head of the table. And a lot of the time, like, it isn't that well separated. Usually the IGL is the strat caller. But you can have cases where it isn't. So this is going to get messy. We get the res off.
Watch behind you, watch behind you.
I don't know that I want to hold ground here. Oh my god, they farmed another grav. Jesus. They farmed another grav. So now we want to try and hold our ground here and stall for as much percentage as possible. Because we lost the first two fights, we lost 60% of the cap. We want to stall for as much as we can get here because we don't have a trank or anything to live through this. And it looks like we didn't vow.
Just like, should I even try?
Oh.
We should not have tranked here. Feels bad.
The start point.
So this is a scenario where you want to have each member of the team touch one by one if possible, which it looks like it isn't. So now we want a group 6. So I would not be going forward here, right? We've sacrificed our Zen trank and our Zen is spawning. We do not want to go W. This is the one time we want to press S and like back up as much as possible and avoid as little poke as possible. Because right now you're just burning shield for no real reason. Who fed that Zarya buffet? Dude, she got fed.
Wait, no, wait for the red.
Yeah. She got like brown rice and beans.
Agree left. One.
Let me know when you want to shatter. I'll try to too.
Okay, we know he has no flash, right? Oh my god, are you gonna get the shatter? Oh! It's so big! Big flank shatter. Okay, this is good.
I'm behind us.
Beat his ass. He's just like swinging as hard as you can. How are we losing this? The shatter was massive. Shatter was huge. Oh my goodness. But that's unlucky. Okay. So biggest thing is like ulticon and like ult awareness, and like as a team, your comms need to be better. Like people,
we should have had like a McCree or something.
People need to be thinking about what their role is. I really think you guys would have benefited massively.
I think we really.
You would have benefited massively from a Lucio. Just because with a Zenyatta, you can't control your engagements or your disengagements, which means you have to wait for the enemy team to engage on you, and with goats, you don't want that to happen. Are you guys discovering the quote command? Oh my goodness. Surprisingly, the Zen is no longer on the team. Oof!
Okay, that's main tank usually, right?
We're not still triple tanking up.
No, I'm gonna go McCree, so we have double hit scan.
You can play Genji here. I can take Emperor.
Did they have a Brigada last time?
Oh my god, you guys are... You've discovered the quotes, I'm so happy. When are shotgun bots? I want to see a good, bad Foomdis. I was gonna do them tonight, but the person I wanted to do them with me wasn't available. I will make sure I ping you to let you know what day it is. Alright, let me back up here and look real quick
Okay, that's main tank usually.
at the comp we're actually going out with. So Genji, D.Va, Reinhardt. Personally, on this map, I would prefer Winston, but that's fine.
Should have gone Torbjorn.
And it sounds like Zen... Okay, there we go. We actually have it up. Okay. So, this is a really funky comp. we have... Okay, so we have the Mercy Widow synergy. We kind of have a Rein Zarya synergy, or Rein D.Va synergy, and then we have the Genji Zen synergy. So we have like 3 distinct synergies, but none that necessarily work super well together. It's okay. This is okay. This is workable. So your D.Va is gonna want to contest high ground, and you're gonna want to try it. Your goal as Ryan here is gonna be to try and take as much space as possible while taking as little poke as possible, because you have no shield break whatsoever. You have 0 shield break. So your goal is to like take as much space as possible while trying to win a shield war that you have to know you're probably going to lose. Comms have gotten significantly better. This was in a league we got sort of banned for reasons. Oh my gosh. But we are in a new league now and are undefeated and have only lost 1 map in 5 games. Wait, you're huge.
Alright. Our Mercy, really. They have an Ana.
Minor thing is that you can shield hop. It's a little bit faster, just to take that much more space, that much more quickly. So you can shield hop. I would call for you. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say you need healing, so I would call for healing here.
Just one line.
And I think the biggest thing with Reinhardt here is you have to play this a lot more passive. So this is a scenario where you have to play passive because you have a D.Va and they have a Zarya. So their Rein can come and play really aggressive and in your face because he has a bubble to augment his HP, whereas like D.Va DM is really unreliable in the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt because D.Va can't block Reinhardt swings, she can only block incoming projectile damage, whereas the bubble blocks everything. So it's really hard for you to win the Reinhardt 1v1 when you have a D.Va and they have a Zarya. So you kind of have to play it more passive and sort of let your D.Va... Basically, you have to kind of play like the bait and switch, right? Like you make their Rein chase you around the map and he's trying to kill you. Meanwhile, your DPS are off in the back, like in the back line fragging. And your D.Va is keeping them off high ground, which makes it that much easier for your DPS to frag because people are in bad spots.
Get this in, get this in.
So I want to play that much, a little bit more passive. Oh, but you didn't get res. But we lost our D.Va mech.
Rise half, okay.
Oh my god, your pins are nutty, but you're gonna get pinned in return. Unlucky. But I do think this is lost. So once again, I think with pinning, like, any time you go for a pin, you have to think, is this going to be a 1-for-1 trade? Like, am I trading my life for this pin? If the answer is yes, then you have to think about how many people, like, is the 5... First of all, am I going to be forcing a 5v5? If I'm not, then it's not worth it. Like, if you're forcing a 4v5, it's not worth it. The other thing, and in this case it's even worse because you already are down your Genji and you're down your Diva mech. The other thing is the fight in a scenario where the enemy team's win condition has been met. And in their case, it's yes, they've killed one of the biggest flankers, which is the Genji, and they've demeched the Diva, which means your goal is to, as Rein and like as a team, is to try and stall this point for as long as possible to allow your Diva to remech 1 and to allow your Genji to return to the fight 2.
Mercy one.
Nice.
You guys got this?
Oh, she's one.
Right behind, right behind.
Oh, WComp, Jane. Oh, I only play competitive Smash Bros. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're coming back. The good news is we somehow didn't give up the point here.
Discord.
Where would? Whoa! Oh my God! You just got CC'd into space.
Doom high ground central.
Okay, Doom high ground. Unfortunate that he gets a bubble. We call for the focus on the Rhine. He misses his shatter. You get stunned by Doomfist, it looks like twice, and just get your ass beat. Feels Reinhardt. Unfortunate. There's not a lot you can do to play around that. Your team kind of jebaited you by calling focus on the free Reinhardt and leaving you to die to the Doomfist. Not a lot you can do against that.
Ryan.
Sorry, first. Sorry.
Sorry, Discord.
Alright, Discorded in the center.
Are we gonna get the cap here somehow?
Charge.
Oh, well. Your teammate kind of baited you, calling the charge that, when you're, like, not in range. Like, it wasn't, you didn't have LOS of it, if that makes sense. But this is good. You find the supports in a tiny cave and you smack the shit out of them, so this is good. And now, we want to be thinking about the ultimates we have. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. I remembered to use the keyboard this time. And pause. Okay, so we have Shatter. We want to hold on to our support alts for now, potentially. We have to be wary that they're now, or that they have this Ana who could look for a big porp. We should be wary of this guy, right? We saw him get kills, so we might be thinking, does this guy have alt? We should assume that they have at least one, if not two, of these three alts. And we should be planning, most likely what I would plan here, since we are now on Zarya, is I would be plotting to do this, or this. So either Valk and smack shit up and then go for a Shatter, or like make room for a Shatter and Blade, or Blade and then use that distraction to Shatter. Oh yeah, Zen just used ult to stall cap points. So we should think, if I clear this up, you're right. We should be thinking that they have one, if not both of these. So, what will we do here? Also, we should think about where we want to hold as a team. Right now, you're kind of standing in like if we want to hold here, this is okay. It's not ideal because we're going to be giving them, again, all of this free space to kind of come in. I think I would want to play where our Zarya is, ideally. But if you do want to play here, you need to call to your team that you want them to play here. Oh, you're going for it. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
I'm gonna like get up here. Mercy, can you damage boost Genji?
She used up her nade.
I'll go ult.
They have no mana.
So you can peek here, right? You have shield, so you can just take a peek. If you see that your Widow is trying to take shots from that right side, I would just try and rotate your shield so she can do that.
Just let me know when you're going, so I know.
This is also a scenario where, since like if your team isn't telling you where they're playing, I would look behind you to see, hey, where is my team playing?
They're all going right side. They're all going right side in the mini.
Right. Ready, Mercy?
Good call.
I need help.
Mercy, ready? Come on.
And you're
This is on point.
it's very interesting that when you have a Zarya on your team, you play really passive, but when you have a Diva on your team, you play really aggressive. Because here, right?
Ready, Mercy?
You're pressing S, S,
Mercy, ready? Come on.
A, D, A,
Doofus is on point. Doofus
Like,
is
you
on
don't
point.
go in until well after we blade.
I'm sorry, how to use it.
Kill the
Whereas,
Doofus. We need to kill the Doofus.
I would actually just have been going in the
Tracer's on
minute
point, dude.
I heard Genji pop
I'll
blade.
get this.
Like, I think the reaction time is a little bit delayed there. I would be the moment... So, let's back up.
Grenade.
I'll go ult.
Right? So we've killed their Ana.
Panel
I
left.
need you guys to call out for me when and where they're grouped up.
Doom left, doom left.
Just let me know when you're going, so I know when to jump out.
Right side.
Alright.
Sorry, they're all going right side. They're all going right
Wait
side.
for it.
Right.
Our wood is about to die.
Left Doofus, left Doofus, left. I need help.
Okay, right here, this is when I would be going hard, right? This is now a 5v5. This can go potentially either way, right? They've killed your Widow, but it came at the cost of their Ana, so we know they're down a main healer. We have both of our supports. We are at a heal advantage, and we have a Zarya now, so that the tank battle is pretty even from the tank perspective, but we have better heals. So I would actually just want to get in here, right? We have this, here it is. The good old Rhine no man's land for no real reason. We have the no man's land. And we're going to see that their Rhine is swinging on nothing. You're also swinging on nothing. And you get slept for it.
Sorry, how to use it.
Kill the Doofus. We need to kill the Doofus.
Tracer's on point, dude. I'll give this.
So both you and Ryan were like, we're going to have this mutual agreement to not fight each other. And the reality is you had an advantage there and you didn't push it. Oh my god, it's big.
Tracer's one.
It's nasty. Slurp them. You're getting them.
Nice, you guys.
Beautiful shatter, beautiful fire strike. It's good. And you get res. Poggers, clappers. King Kaseya, Carnage. Final Snake Boss, Linty Peach. Thank you guys so much for the follows and welcome.
What's going on?
Best what?
Unfortunately, the fire strike doesn't hit, but good on you for throwing it.
Might be
I'd be
me.
calling for you to get healed. I'd be calling for heals here.
Side open leg. Yeah.
Your support should be helping you out there. Okay, if you get bubbled, you gotta swing on stuff.
Going somewhere.
Yeah, I'm watching him more.
I need heals. I need heals on point.
In the middle.
Just standing while you're bubbled with your shield up is like, doesn't help you or your Zarya. You gotta swing on people.
Ours half.
First one.
And now we have to play for stall. So we're not playing to win now,
First one, nice.
right? At 97% where we're down 3 people, including you. And we're at 97. We just want to get to 99%, use 0 ults and die and wipe. Because they're at 0. So we get like at least 3 fights to force them to use ults. When are you going to do a pure ASMR VOD review stream? I don't know.
What's the timing?
Someday. Okay, we've got 99, so this is when everybody should be trying to get out. Oh, never mind, it's winnable. We bladed 2 people. Ambitious charge. Oh, you just got pooped into Narnia. Ambitious charge. I don't think I would have gone for that. Go back to point. Or die. One or the other.
There's a Forerunner then.
Wait, you're huge. Ah! It was worth it.
Oh, she got off.
You're big.
It's okay.
Oh,
we can
she's
make
1
it.
HP.
Oh,
Yes.
we can win this. We
Big
can
fire
win.
strike.
Still win.
It's winnable. Get in their team.
Who else? Lucio and Diva. Lucio and Diva.
Left side of point, left side of point.
Kill the things. And you almost have shatter too. This is really good.
I have shattered.
You need to enable Gachi base. Oh yeah, you're right. I do. You need to enable Gachi base. You're right. The flank slaps was big. Oh, I wouldn't have shattered that though. It's a BM shatter. Okay. Future reference. Don't shatter a grav unless like the grav is ending and you know those people aren't gonna die. Because you guys just invested 3 ults into 1 grav.
I'm sorry.
And they're stalling with Trank again!
What I win?
Zen central, Zen center.
Clap. Okay. Biggest thing I notice, when you are aggressive at the right times, it pays off. Because you walk into like a million people, you smack the shit out of them, you throw fire strikes, and you hit big, thick, fat ass shatters. They're beautiful. One person Diva got bladed. Oh yeah, you're right. We bladed the mech, just the Diva. You right.
I added him for a while back. And he still has
She's
combo.
close enough there to hold shield and kill with her own rockets. I'm gonna count that one as delayed reaction because he did go for the fire strike, which I think I would have done. I think it's fair to go for the fire strike there because if your goal, like, it can be tough to tell if she's close enough to kill her with her own rockets, and like you run at the risk of you're holding shield and you let your shield explode and yourself die, versus you throw a fire strike at her and then you shield and potentially you kill her. Biggest thing I would say is your aggression at the beginning of the fight and at the and like at the end of the fight is where you have problems. In the middle of the fight, you know exactly what to do, but like initiating and taking space seems to be something you struggle with.
Okay.
Fair was just
Catfishing girls on Fortnite. Please move cursor. Okay,
Yeah,
cursor
you
move.
can say Tracer.
Not playing Bridget,
Sorry.
it doesn't matter.
So we haven't decided
Alright.
where we're
I'm
going.
gonna
Our
take
team
high
is going
ground.
to place. I think going main here is good because we have the
Where's
Zarya.
their Widow?
She's on the right side of their arrow.
But right now, like, okay, this is half your fault and like, actually, it's more like it's 25% your fault and like 75% your team's fault. If you're forced into, wow, I did not mean to do that. If you're forced in a position where you're just hard shielding an area, so in that case, we're hard shielding this area. The only reason you would do this is you want your team to pass from point A to point B, and for no other reason. So if there aren't people at point A to go to point B, there's no reason to hard shield this. So you either need to tell people, I'm hard shielding you, get the fuck in here, or you need to instantly rotate with this Zarya to be prepared to meet them here, because if you do, you deny them all this space. So that's the kind of space you want to take as Reinhardt. Currently 2,800 is poggers. Gazorp is huge. Okay, that's a big pin. That's actually a huge pin.
Tracer one.
Got this.
Wasted fire strike, unfortunately. Smack her ass up. Yeah, you're big. Okay.
I think.
I'm gonna be honest there. Their Rhine
No, they got reached.
fucking fed.
Never mind, not good there.
Thank you.
DioVods 101 draw a shit ton of
Oh,
lines
super
somehow connected to gameplay. Yes, exactly. Welcome to Dio's art stream.
Yeah, McCree,
I'll be your host, Dio.
Yeah,
Okay.
McCree and Soldier
I want to
76.
host a little bit. I want to hold a little bit further forward. We just won that fight, so we can be really aggressive here. And like, let's compare comps, right? They are running double hit scan, which is one of the most Monka-esque comps ever. I fucking hate double hit scan. I think double hit scan is garbage. I think it's bad. I think it's trash. It's so shitty. It's just bad. There's nothing good about it. It's just bad. This is like such a shit comp. They have no shield break. They don't have good shield break. I would argue their shield break is actually worse than yours, despite you guys having Tracer McCree.
Smack her ass. Deo commanding. Your tweet with do.
Serenis, thank you for the 100 bits. Yes. Smack the spider lady up. Because like the value of you guys running the McCree Tracer is Tracer can go bug these people and your McCree can bug these people, and you have sort of this divide and conquer method of the DPS in dealing with their team. But I don't know what double hit scan like McCree Soldier accomplishes besides having two people who want to do the same job, who play in roughly the same positions, especially on this map where you want to dominate the limited high ground there is. Neither of them combo with the Zarya particularly well because you're a Reinhardt, so you'll just shield their ults if the Zarya grabs, and you should like literally never ever combo tag visor with grab ever. There's never a good reason to do that. Yeah, I would want to like get set up in this doorway because their best hope is the Reinhardt charges you or the McCree flashes you and they try and kill you. And you have Zarya Bubble, you have Mercy Beam, and you have Zen Orb to help you live through that. So I want to hold really aggressively here because they are running a garbage comp.
That's really sad.
How would they run 2 hit scans?
Left.
Zen's on left.
Babs is adopting 5 bronzes and silvers. Poggers. The bronze I adopted is now almost diamond, and that makes me really happy because I love her. Oh! Big swings! You take a lot of pins.
McCree's still on the right.
Mercy 1.
Holy, you just walked with that. You just walked into the world's most charged Zarya with your shield down.
Left.
Sun's on left.
But you will see that, like, we give them a lot of space. Like, you backed up, and they just walked in here.
Still discorded.
So even though you got the pin, it's at the cost of, like, all this space, so you're just making trades.
I see her. I see him. McCree's still on the right.
Mercy 1.
And the problem with making trades is it puts your DPS in a really shitty position where they have to take duels that aren't in their favor.
Okay. No,
Right? Like, if you have the point, you have the space advantage. You have to make them come to you. But you don't want to kite in scenarios where, like, with double hit scan, right? The one thing these two heroes want is space. And if you let their Reinhardt take space, these two people are smiling. And if these two guys don't have more space than the enemy hit scan, they are having a frowny. So you do not want to give up space here.
Okay. If you can get the Mercy or the Zen, we win the fight. I can touch point. I can touch point here.
You misread the gold damage, thought it was gold healing? Oof.
Section off by a soldier. Transfer.
Oh no! How did that get blocked?
Alright, get on point.
That's
Get on
unlucky.
point. High need.
He flashed shield on you. That sucks. I would have communicated that shatter.
Beautiful.
Also, these people are toxic. What the heck?
That was complete luck, dude.
No.
And now we're just we're feeding
Nice rest, dude.
because we've lost this. This is a lost fight.
Are we still fighting?
We should not be.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, because they have cap, right? They're just burning time.
Mercy's 1. Mercy 1. Mercy 1.
Sends one. Send one.
As soon as they have a big man advantage and they have cap, it's really hard to like try and turn that without like killing at least 2 for 1. At least 2 for 1, if not more.
Right. I think.
And they're now at
we're all
75,
set.
so we really need to hard reset.
Soldier ult. That was nice. I have Valk. Soldier.
Okay, if you're backing out here, you need to tell your team that you want them to come with you and get out of there, because they're all just like you're just shielding nobody. Your shield is actually like doing nothing. You play on a laptop? Hey, you know what? One of my very good friends is a 4.6k peak farm main who plays on a laptop too. So you know what? Anything's possible. I love you regardless of your financial status. Okay, good. We've managed to regroup, but it's taken so much time to decide that we actually want to aggress here and take space.
Gonna heal.
95 to shatter. 95 to shatter. Heal.
Oh my god, there's so little you can do here. He died! It's huge! Okay, if this Rhine dies, you get to hit the world's fattest shatter. But he's not gonna die because they had trained.
Someone back, help back me.
I believe in you. Oh, it's big!
Nice.
You did it.
Oh shoot.
Ryan,
You hit a big shatter.
Down.
Mercy,
It was the
Mercy,
fattest shatty.
Mercy, kill Mercy, kill Mercy. Zarya.
Like, and you have good intuition of when to use your ult and how to, like, play the enemy Rhine to get shatters off. So you have good mechanics on Rhine, it's just taking space is your real struggle.
Nice, 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 nice.
Because your shatters are beautiful.
Right side, right side, right side.
Okay, so we know they're going...
The soldier was
you got baited. They went to the left. They're going to the left.
Yep, they're going left. They're going left. Monkey left.
But basically, you have to decide like where you're gonna hold, because if you hold further up here in this doorway, you can see them redirecting to the left. Or if you choose to hold in the left, then obviously you're gonna see them come to the left. But like waiting on point as a main tank is like one of the worst things you can do, because it like forces your entire team to take really sort of suboptimal positions.
Go for it.
Okay. Mara's main, I'm gonna play that.
I'll get him.
Oh my god, what?
Oh my god!
I have grab.
You got owned.
It's okay. We chance. It's okay.
Is this gonna be enough? They're on Pharah now. Pharah, Soldier, Monkey. They're on double main tank. Double main tank, double main support.
Holy crap, guys.
Boy, this is weird.
The grabs there, good.
So I think our lack of pushing positional advantages here is what loses this.
If you can touch, you need to touch here. Can you touch? Can you touch?
You are able to touch. Good job dodging the charge there. Flyer Fanatic, thank you for the 3 viewer posts, and good to see you, baby.
No one can do anything.
Oh!
Okay,
Oh, it's big!
Okay, that's two.
Oh, you got res, it's big.
Dude, are we actually going with this?
If you guys actually win this, I'm gonna be so
We also
happy.
have no heals.
But no, it's not
We have
happening.
no heals.
No
Yeah.
healers. It's over. Oh,
What
no.
should we do?
Any chance you can get that Winston review tonight? I'm gonna try. I make no promises. It's already 11 o'clock and I'm like, oh, it's getting so close to bedtime, but I like VOD reviews. Okay. Biggest thing. So, your understanding of your ult is beautiful. You have a great understanding of your ult and how to use it and when to use it. But, okay. Biggest things to work on. I have to turn this sideways or else I won't be able... Oops. I won't be able to, like, write straight. Okay, 1. As a tank, think about space. So, where do you want to hold on the map? Because that's your job. The goal of a main tank is to utilize aggression to hold space on a map. So, think about choke points. Like, what choke points benefit you? What choke points benefit your DPS? What choke points do you not want to get caught in because they benefit the enemy DPS? So think about choke points. Think about... I don't want to say map control because it's too broad, but think about, like... Think about high ground... Like, when are opportunities for you to hold on the high ground and force teams to come to you into unfavorable positions? And then lastly, think about health packs. So where can you have the team play to use health packs, for example, to augment your own health pool, your DPS's health pool, your support's health pools? Second thing, this is for positioning, I should mention. Second thing you should think about, and now it has just gone out of my brain. Fuck. Calvin, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Booty Brigade. Run Wildy. El Devia. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Along with Lelo Bowl, Quitty 23N, and oh my gosh, the Filthy Casual gave me 1 bit that he grinded very hard for. Thank you, Daddy. Okay, but anyways, the biggest thing is you want to think about... Oh, I remember what the second thing was. Second thing is shield. Shield utilization. So you want to avoid burning your shield in scenarios where you don't have to, right? If you can path your way through an area without using your shield and without taking damage, you should do so. If you can't do that and you need to shield an area in order to prevent or mitigate damage from being applied to you or to your teammates, you need to communicate to your teammates about where you're shielding and what that point A to B is. Like, I'm going to shield this hallway. I want you to go from spawn to point. So that way you don't have people clustering on top of you, which like forces you to burn shield a ton. You don't want to burn your shield a ton. You don't want to burn your shield when you're regrouping. So, like, if you know you have to back out and end a fight, like, don't burn shield, because then when you do group 6, then you have to wait behind a wall for a couple of seconds to have your shield charged back to 2,000. And then Serenus in chat brought up the third thing that I want to talk about, which is think about your off-tank. Your off-tank's goal always should be to enable you as a main tank. But the way they're going to do that as an off-tank is going to vary depending on what kind of off-tank they are and what kind of main tank you are. So if you're Reinhardt, right, Zarya enables you by allowing you to be super aggressive with her bubbles. D.Va enables you by keeping things that can go around your shield and hurt you off of you. As well as, like, eating projectiles from things that are far away from you. A Roadhog, for example, is going to bring things into an area where you can swing on them, and he's going to contribute to the shield break of the enemy team. So when deciding how aggressive or passive you should play, think about how your off tank is going to help you achieve your goal of taking space. So those are the biggest things that I think you should work on. But overall, like, it was pretty well played. That looked like a pretty balanced scrim. That went pretty close. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Gazorp, for submitting to me, and I hope that was helpful and gave you some good context. Just want to say we have an off tank who's Poco, so we run Ryan D.Va for 4k bombs and run Bomb Shatter as a combo. Hell yeah! I am not opposed to D.Va Reinhardt. In fact, in the current meta right now, D.Va Reinhardt is stupidly strong because it's one of the only sort of reliable tactics to cuck Ana. But it's just a matter of with D.Va Ryan has to play a little bit less aggressive than he would playing with Rosario. That's all.